So I'm going to start things a little differently than I usually do. So before we get into it, I just have to put a disclaimer out there. Yes, another Kyosho Raider ARR video on the channel. Because, well, it's just that darn important to me. So with that being said, what's going on, everybody, and welcome to the RC Retro channel. In this episode, we're taking a look at this new in-box mint condition Kyosho Raider ARR. Now, I had to put out that disclaimer because there is tons of Kyosho Raider ARR content on this channel already. It is significant to me because it was my first hobby grade RC as a kid. I did an unboxing of this already. In my 100th episode celebrating the channel, I talked about the significance of this as a kid and what I went through to try and get it. A lot of begging. And then also got a slightly used Kyosho Raider ARR on the channel. Got it out on the baseball field for some action, and then of course followed that up with a track run. So I got a couple videos, and I'm going to post the links to them in the description down below so you can check them out. This is not going to be an unboxing video. This is everything you see right here. But there's been a lot of love for the Kyosho Raider lately on YouTube, so it got me kind of motivated to bust mine out of the closet and share it with all of you. I'm going to finish it off and get it into a nice display. No, not this display over here. I'm actually putting together a nice display so I could show off my RCs in the room behind me. Maybe, you know, film from time to time in there. But it's really more so for me to look at and enjoy them rather than being boxed up in a closet, right? So maybe I'll show you, give you a little sneak peek at the end of the video. But the point of this video is, since I'm motivated now to get that display done, and because there's so much love for the Raider on YouTube, is to finish this off. And like I said, there's not much to it. It comes almost ready to run, hence Raider ARR. All you really had to do with this is get your servo in the front, your steering arms, charge up a battery, which is held in place with these little zip ties, get your radio equipment in here, cut out the body that you see right over here, and stick on your stickers or decals. And that's really it. That's all you really had to do, which is why this was perfect for me as a kid. And that's what we're going to do in this video. So it's going to be a quick video, and then I'll see you right back here at the end, and we can look at this a little bit more closely and talk about its features, because it is an entry-level RC, but it's definitely a step above entry-level versus, let's say, I don't know, a Tamiya. So you'll see what I'm talking about in a little bit. So I'm going to get this cut out, stickered up, and ready for display. Okay, so here's the deal. I started to do a little time-lapse action, and then only a couple seconds into that, you saw me at one point with my head down like this, because when I took the protective crinkly film off, I realized that the original factory finish painted body is starting to spiderweb in some of the crevices of the body, and the wing, which you cut off the rear over here, has a big portion of paint that crackled and chipped off. And it's not because of the way it was stored in the box, because this was packed nicely. It was just, I guess, over time. So now comes the dilemma, and that dilemma is, do I move forward with this original body with these original stickers, or do I get a reproduction body and use the original stickers on the reproduction body? And it seems like I'm going to lean toward going with the original body with the original stickers, because I just want to keep it all original. So I'm not too worried. I do have another set of original stickers somewhere, probably in my sticker drawer. So it's something later on down the line I can get a reproduction body from Team Blue Groove and do something like that. But I really, in my heart of hearts, really want to keep this all original, even with the imperfections on the paint on the body. So we're going to move forward. That's what I'm going to do. That's right. Keep it all original. Would I consider it mint? I don't know if I would consider it mint at that point, but it's definitely all original. And it's still going to look good probably in my display cabinet. So I'm going to move forward. Alright, so I had an idea and I just went with it. I decided to repaint the inside of the body to further prevent cracking and chipping from happening. I'm not looking at this as a repair because it's not going to fill in all the little gaps between the cracks, but more so almost like a disguise, because between this and all the stickers on the outside, it'll hopefully hide a lot of the imperfections. And this way you won't really notice it when you look at the car from the outside. So fingers crossed this works, and enjoy the rest of the video. Well, that's it for the Kyosho Raider ARR, and I'm super excited with how it came out, considering how the factory painted body was in such disastrous shape. I'm talking spider webbing, cracking, chipping. When I was cutting out the body in the video, all along the cut lines, it was chipping away. And so right after I filmed that part, I put the body down and I actually walked away and let it sit here for about 24 hours, didn't even acknowledge it, didn't even think about it. Was basically going to give up on it and just kind of move on to something else. And then I was like, why don't I just repaint the inside of the body and try to fill in all those cracks? And I busted out my airbrush and the compressor and went over a couple coats on the inside in black. And I think it did a really good job disguising. I'm not going to say covering it up, but disguising it enough so that this way when I put the stickers or decals on, you can't even tell. I mean, if you're looking at this and giving it a once over, or even looking at it for an extended period of time, you probably won't even notice those imperfections unless you really get up close and start looking at it, especially in some of the areas like the corners, like in here, or a little bit up here. But that's only if you're really looking at it closely. So I'm not gonna say this is in mint condition, even though this is brand new out of a box. I'm gonna say this is in great condition. I think it's gonna look lovely in my display cabinet as a shelf queen, and later on, at the very end, I'm gonna show you a little bit of that, where my collection is eventually gonna go. It's not gonna fit my entire collection, but just enough for me to enjoy some of my RCs in there, so this way they're not all sitting in a closet. As for this, came out in the late 80s. I don't think anything screams more 80s than having neon all over it. As a matter of fact, it goes with my Ultimate Warrior, which is usually hanging up over here. He's in neon green and neon pink, so I had to just put him down here right next to the car. That's pretty awesome. But yeah, it came out in the late 80s, and there were 3 different kits to the Raider. The first one was a kit where you had to put it together. There was also the turbo Raider, which you see right back over here. This was the hopped up version that came with the neon orange wheels, a different tread pattern in the rear tire. It came with gold oil-filled shocks, came with a Kyosho mega motor, a different pinion I believe, and ball bearings for your gearbox. That was pretty much it. This is a reproduction body and reproduction stickers on here. I haven't had a chance to get this out, but I hope to eventually one day get it out and do a running video on this. And then you had the third kit, which was the Kyosho Raider ARR. Now I remember driving around with my uncle to 3 or 4 different hobby shops on Long Island. Yes, that's right, Long Island. That's where I'm from and that's where I still reside. And finally in the 4th shop, we found the Raider ARR. And he was very adamant about getting me this particular entry-level buggy and not a Tamiya. Because I personally believe, now that I'm older, hands down, this has a clear advantage over other entry-level buggies of the time because it had a mid-mounted motor gearbox in here. Very much like the Optima Mid right over here. And so Kyosho was like, hey, let's put out a 2-wheel drive entry-level buggy with a mid-mounted motor gearbox, and there you go, the Raiders. So that's pretty cool. You have front and rear independent suspension. You have pogo stick shocks on here, but those can easily be replaced with the gold ones from the turbo Raider over there. Yeah, it had a mechanical speed control. Like I said, a sealed gear diff, mid-mounted gearbox, and this very, very cool body and neon green wheels. So yeah, I just love this. Brings back so many memories, and I'm so happy to have a brand new in-box built one that I'm going to throw into display to admire. Okay, now I just want to throw some love out there. My buddy James, who is the creator for Vintage Backyard RC, I threw his thumbnail up of one of his videos earlier. He's got such great content on his channel. I was rewatching his Raider videos, his restoration, and his track run. Does a supreme job. Check out his channel. Please subscribe. I'm sure he'll appreciate it. But yeah. And then, of course, my other buddy Glenn. We all know who Glenn is from Tamiya Legends and RC Legends. I threw his thumbnail up there. So he did a great job with a new in-box Raider, which I probably threw up the image of over my shoulder over here a couple times to show you the red one. But yeah, great video as well. So with that, I want to thank you for your support. I'm going to leave you now, and I'm going to show you just one little area of my display cabinet where this is going to go with a couple other RCs in that one little area. I'm not going to show you the whole thing because that'll be a future video on this channel when I'm done with it, all right? So thank you so much, and I'll see you all in my next. Take care now. Okay, here it is. So I'm going to have 2 glass display cabinets, a little area under my TV, and another small shelf area to display my collection, and that's all I'm going to say about that. But the one shelf you are looking at has my all original mint condition never ran Kyosho Triumph, which looks like it's flying or hovering above my newly finished original Kyosho Raider. It's on an acrylic display stand that you could barely even see, so that's pretty cool. To the right of that is my all original Optima Mid that has been restored to as close to original condition as possible. It is almost all original except for the body, which is a reproduction from Team Blue Groove, but the stickers on there are original. The wheels and the tires on there, everything is original, super cleaned up. So again, close to mint except for the reproduction body, and some of the stickers are peeling off. Boo-hoo. All right, so when I open this up, there is an acrylic display stand right underneath here, which lifts the car just enough. So it looks like it's actually sitting on the glass, but it's not. And then this guy, you can see right back here, and I have gloves on because I don't want to leave fingerprints all over everything because that's how anal retentive I am. There is an acrylic display stand right back here. So that's pretty cool. And then close these. move this over. There's also an acrylic display stand underneath here, just enough to lift it to let the tires rotate. So it still gives it the illusion that it's sitting on the glass, but it's not. Alright, so I'm not giving away any more my tricks, okay, until I do a video on this. And I get the whole display cabinets filled. I have a few more projects to finish off and get into this display cabinet. Alright, you want to see one more? Fine, just one more. That's it. Hold on a second. And this is one more shelf. And that's it. That's all you're getting. That's it. I'm only showing you 2 different areas of my display cabinets for right now. Here's my Team Associated RC10 collection. And I'm not going to get into it, telling you about it. But I'm just showing you. And you'll have to keep an eye out for a future video on my displays. Alright, take care now. Let's go, let's go!